there's Waldo. Oh, I've been looking for his bum ass. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. Like, I try not to be dumb, and then I do dumb shit. So it's like, it counteracts each other. You know what I'm saying? All right, everybody. Been a long time coming. We'll review. It has been a little bit since I've been on this channel. Not that long, but long enough. You know what I'm saying? As we are just getting out, today we are going to be talking about The Amateur, released April 11, 2025, directed by James Hawes. Now, I was fortunate enough to see this as an early screening the Saturday before the actual release of this movie, so I feel myself a little too much over here. Let me chill out. Very solid action movie. I like it a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it, to be honest with you. I am glad I decided to actually go and see it. I was originally planning to skip this movie given that Drop and Warfare come out in the same week, so the early screening did come out a couple weeks ago. I said, you know what, why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't do much on Saturdays, as sad as that sounds, but Oscar winner Rami Malek was able to do his thing on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Before I say anything else though, you feel me? I'm gonna throw up that spoiler warning real quick. You know what I'm talking about? For anyone who has not seen The Amateur as of yet and is planning to see it in theaters, I suggest you click off this video, as I will be talking about it in some detail. Then come back to it. It'll be here for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't care, you don't care. We welcome you anyway. Let's talk about the intro here. Rami Malek is playing a CIA analyst, Charles Heller. Now, him and his wife, Sarah, they're enjoying a little breakfast. Sarah's on her way to some thing. I don't know what she does in her professional life, but she's out there doing it, and she's going to London to go do it. Charles is wishing his wife a good trip. Waves goodbye. She drives away towards the airport, and we go to the next scene here, which is Charles at work. Again, CIA decoder, so he's in the CIA Central Intelligence Office in I don't know where, actually. You know what I'm saying? Now I think about it. Let's talk about these two characters, Sarah and Charles. I like the relationship a lot. Granted that we don't even see too much of these two together, to be fair, for this movie, because as you know from the trailer, Sarah does not make it to the next day, unfortunate enough. Charles, he doesn't find out really until he comes into work the next day. Chief Moore, who is played by Holt McCallany, if you know ball, you know who Holt McCallany is, but Chief Moore does pull Charles into the, I don't know where he pulled him in. He pulled him into some room, I'm assuming his office, to further explain that his wife has now been killed in a failed bank heist, something. I don't know, something. I don't know what it was exactly, but I want to say 4 or 5 hitmen organized some shit. It didn't go down the way they thought it was. The police showed up too quick, I guess, so they took hostages. Next thing you know, Sarah said goodbye. Well, she didn't get a chance to. That's insensitive as hell. I hate the fact that the night before, Charles at work, he gets a call from Sarah after she lands, shortly before she dies. Actually, he's in the middle of something. Like he's a decoder at CIA, so he's figuring out shit from potential threats to the country, I'm assuming, right? So he says, I'm on to something, can I call you back? And then hangs up the phone there. Oh my gosh, bro, I couldn't even imagine the lack of closure. I couldn't even imagine that being the last time I speak to my loved one ever. And like, I honestly, I would never wish that on anyone. And my gosh, did his acting prove how heart-wrenching it was when he found out his wife was no more. And again, we don't see much of their relationship. Like what they did show us for the relationship between these two, it was enough to actually make us feel for his character when she died. Like, it was sad, bro. It speaks to how, like, this movie separates from other action films. Like, granted, we've seen retaliation films from left, right, and center. You know what I'm saying? Taken for one. John Wick series for one. When it comes to the actual relationships between the characters, we don't really see much, or like, we don't really care. In John Wick, the whole thing happens because of his dog in his car, but his wife died early in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care too much for the wife in that film, and again, I hate to say stuff like that, but that's just because we didn't see much between the two of them. But with what little we saw between Charles and Sarah Heller, it was enough to make us sad, bro. I might be just the writing or the directing on this point. We'll find out later, but I like that shit. Now Charles, he's grieving, of course, but he seems to have skipped, or at least how the movie shoots it, we're past all the steps of grief, and he's on anger at this point. He's hell-bent on finding the people responsible for his wife's death and killing them. Early in the movie, the thing he actually decided to hang up on his wife for, he uncovers some dirt on the chief. Moore has been conducting rogue missions for the CIA. He has the whole explanation like it's in the best interest of national security, yada yada yada. He's killing innocent people though, so I'm saying like he decides to cover up a mission which entails of an airstrike hitting the wrong area, killing hundreds of innocent people. Charles finds that. He decides to use that as leverage against Moore because he wants to be trained. He wants field training so that way he can go out and kill these people. To be fair, where he's coming from, I should say, Charles, he was going crazy over this at the beginning. He actually finds the people responsible. When he shows it to the chief, Moore already knew who these people were, but he decides that they're just not going to do anything about it. We find out later on that these people have worked for Moore in the past, so that's why he's not going after them. But Moore right here tells them basically, we're not going to go for the little fish here. We want the whale. So we want to get the people that hired these people. But again, he just doesn't want to be involved, or he just doesn't want to get himself burned in this situation. Granted that he's done bad things using people like this. Charles, again, using that leverage he has, he blackmails Moore here into field training him. His field training is then oversaw by none other than Lawrence Fishburne playing Colonel Henderson. Lawrence Fishburne, that's an actor right there. He doesn't have too much screen time in this movie, but I think he did pretty damn good. He was entertaining at the least, I'll give him that. We find out pretty quick Charles doesn't have that killer instinct in him. He's not capable of taking a life, at least with a gun. He's not capable of shooting somebody. He decides that either way, he's gonna go after these people regardless. Now, he did bluff when he was saying he was going to blackmail these people. And they find out. Moore, of course, not being too pleased with being threatened like that. He decides that he's going to just take Charles off the board. And he sends Henderson to kill him. Essentially, Charles is a smart ass dude. That's a strong point. If I haven't given him a strong point yet besides the intro, that's a good strong point. He's quick with his wits, bro. Oh my god, when he's on it though. There's maybe a couple times here where he's like, he panics a little bit and that messes him up because he's not built for this type of life. Henderson is then following after Charles as he's chasing after the people who killed his wife. This is where I think the intro of the movie ends. So I'm not going to talk too much more about this movie. I'm going to talk about what I really liked about this film. Starting off with the camera shots we do get here and there. They're pretty cool. I like the camera work. It's pretty solid. Now, where I think it works the best is when at the beginning of the movie, Charles finds out his wife died. The shot they did to show his agony, like it was some type of like dolly zoom in shot with like we blurred the background and stuff. It just drew into his grief so perfectly. If we had more of that though, that would have been appreciated. I don't think they use that enough though. That type of camera work, I should say. The camera work's decent. There's one action scene between Lawrence Fishburne's character and another hitman or whatever you want to call it, where it's a bit too choppy. I don't like that. To be fair, like when a fight scene's cut up terribly, and when I mean terribly, I mean they cut every damn second. Taken 3. I'm not trying to take a shot at Liam Neeson, but his old ass should have stopped doing action films years ago. But that's besides the point. But when they do cut up action shots so much, it just makes it hard to follow and it just draws away from the actual scene. But other than that, the camera work's pretty solid. Another thing I do also like here a lot is the score. I think the score is pretty damn good. It's not too memorable, but that's hard to do with scores. When it comes to the composition of the music behind a movie, for it to be memorable, it's not an easy task. Granted that there's some movies where you remember the score for as long as you live, but there's a lot of movies with great score, but you just don't remember them when you walk out of the theater. You know, you got movies like Halloween, the Halloween series. Everyone knows the Michael Myers theme. Everyone knows it. Another example I should say would be the Avengers theme from any of the Avengers movies. They're quite memorable. It's not something you're gonna forget easily. If you have forgot it, I don't know what you have dementia, you might want to get that checked out. I apologize. Jesus Christ. Now, another thing I liked about this movie, the writing was pretty damn good. Charles here, he's not a hands-on guy when it comes to the kills in this film. Again, he's smart as hell. His first kill, her name's Gretchen or some shit, I don't remember, but this was basically an accident, but the vision was there. Now he finds out that she's allergic to dandelions or sunflowers or both of them, something like that. She's in like this 6x6 clear cage, and he's able to funnel in some sunflower or pollen, that's what it was. He's able to funnel in some pollen into there, and she starts wheezing, dog. What the fuck? I'm thinking that's how he gets her. All right, word. But he did want some information. He's not trying to kill her yet, so he does let her go. She runs out of the clinic. In doing so, she runs straight into traffic, gets hit by a car, donezo. Now, the second kill here was this one was pretty messed up. I'm not gonna lie. And again, he's smart as hell. The way he finds his people is ingenious. He finds this guy at a rooftop pool at this hotel. Now, the pool is between both sides, or it goes across both buildings of the hotel. Here's where Charles comes into play. He creates this device that is going to weaken the glass. And when he confronts the man inside the pool, he also asks for information. When he doesn't get it, he just decides to cut his losses, turn on the device, and the guy falls. I think it was 75 meters. My God. Now, we don't see the body, but you gotta understand, that's a fall right there. So I'm not gonna say that he died painlessly. That was some shit, okay? Now the next guy he kills, holy hell, this was just straight evil. Now he finds out that this other guy is an arms dealer. He's saving the dude that killed his wife for last, but he finds the second to last guy. He arranges a weapons deal, but of course when the guy shows up, there's no weapons. But he leaves the tackle box there and he tells him, open the box and you'll find your merchandise. He opens the box, it's an IED. Now again, all he wants is information. Tell me where this last guy is and I'll let you go free, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember these people's names, but he gives him his phone and tells him what you need is there. He's begging for his life at this point. He says, let me go, I've given you what you want. This dude Charles, let me tell you, Charles then walks away and the guy's like, wait, where are you going? You know what I'm saying? You're not about to leave me here. Charles, no joke, said, if you jump fast enough, you should be able to outrun the blast, and walks away. And as he walks away, we hear the guy screaming and then kablooey. Oh my gosh. For a PG-13 movie, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at the lack of like destruction we see. Like we see, of course, all of this happening, but we don't really see too much like gore. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care to see it in this film, to be honest. So I'm not mad that it was skipped over or we like don't see the bodies and stuff like that. There's a side plot here with like an informant they have at the CIA named Incaline. It's not much really here to talk about. It's not a lame side plot, but it's on the weaker side. I'm gonna be honest. She's more lonely than anything, I guess, so she does help him. For some reason they started cuddling, and I don't know. Now we're at the end of the film here. Charles has now found the last guy. Not really, he's found his boat. This guy has a boat in Russian seas. He actually ends up getting jumped here because these people catch wind of him. Granted that he's killed the other 3 people, part of his crew. So he gets jumped, he ends up being brought onto the boat he was looking for, and when he does, he meets the guy that is in fact responsible for his wife's death, like the actual guy that pulled the trigger. Again, this is what I mean by how smart this dude Charles is, and this is scary. He fooled us. I'm not gonna lie, he fooled us. I'm thinking he was gonna try to figure out some way to kill the last guy and himself. He has no other way out here, I guess. When the guy brings him on and he's talking all this shit to him, he's talking about like, you know, I don't think you have what it takes to really, you know, kill someone up close. That's not your body. You gotta be a different type of animal for that. What is his name, bro? I can't remember this dude's name. This dude gives Charles the gun and he tells him, shoot me if you're really about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be right here for you. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you get away with it. It's loaded. I'm not tricking you or nothing. Here's the gun. Shoot me if you about that shit. I'm paraphrasing, of course. That's not how they talk. This guy is from type of foreign country, so he wouldn't sound like that. Charles does take the gun, aims it at him, and right when we're thinking he's about to shoot this dude, he decides that just the fear in your eyes, for you to experience the same feeling that my wife did before she died, that's enough for me. Now, this whole time, he's bringing this dude's boat, like remote control shit. He's driving it out of the Russian waters into Finland, which is another territory where this guy's wanted, I guess. How he does it, I don't really know. Something about like his smartwatch was able to take control of the ship's navigational system.
Let me drive the boat.
And this is how the movie ends, basically. He does tell the Finnish, how do you pronounce that? What are the people called from Finland? Finnish? He lets the Finnish authorities know where he's gonna be. He lets Interpol know where he's gonna be, and he tells them who's gonna be on this ship as well. So the movie ends. This guy gets arrested. Not too satisfied with that, to be fair. I thought the guy was gonna die. But he goes back to work for the CIA. I guess he's figured out some type of closure. And the movie ends with him flying his what do you call these planes? His biplane, flying his biplane that his wife got him for his birthday. That was a very nice touch, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly, not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna hoe him out. My butt was clenching up until the credits rolled because I'm thinking for some reason he just gonna die. Oh, and also, the CIA went public with what Moore did. He ends up getting arrested. His lackeys end up getting arrested. And again, that's the end of the movie. Now, another thing I did like about this film is the acting. The acting was phenomenal. If you saw the trailer, you would have thought this actor would have been more present in the film. He wasn't, unfortunately. And who I'm talking about is none other than John Bernthal. I guess they just call him the Bear. They don't really give him a real name. He's no joke in 2 scenes. In the beginning with Charles and another scene in Russia right before he gets jumped by those guys. And I'm be honest, he took the show both times he was on screen. So I'm not mad at it. I just thought we were gonna get a little bit more. But even so, where some of the acting slacked off by the supporting characters, because to be fair, they're on the weaker side, Rami Malek picked up that weight like his life depended on it. Just again, his emotion was damn good in the beginning when he found out about his wife. I can't get over that. What he said to that one dude, if you jump fast enough, you'll be able to outrun the blast, and then just lets the guy blow up to smithereens. Holy smokes. We're just gonna give our overall ratings. I think we've covered plenty about this film, you know what I'm saying? Starting off with the writing and story. Writing is very good. Story is okay as well. I'm gonna have to give this a, let's see, be honest here. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. That feels right to me. I like the little journey we're on with them. I think it ties up pretty nicely, to be fair. Again, it's not that satisfying of an ending where the guy just basically just goes to jail. I'm assuming they give him the death penalty because he did murder a woman in broad daylight. Now on to the sound design and score. Again, it's very good here, but it's not that memorable, so it's not going to be too high up on the list. Sound design and score, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10, which is fair. That's a passing grade, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with the 6. It's just hard to make a real memorable score. And that might just be me at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? That just might not be something I can pick up on. I'll recognize the shit out of it, I'm sure, but I won't be able to to hum it to you after the movie. Now next, we're gonna talk about the casting and acting, which I think is the strongest part about this movie. The writing and the story is strong as well. The acting is just that much better. Again, that has to do with Rami Malek. Again, Oscar winner. I loved him in Bohemian Rhapsody. I never watched iRobot, that series that put him on the map, but I heard that was pretty good as well. But yeah, even the supporting characters were pretty good. Like Rachel Brosnahan, I'm gonna mispronounce that shit out of that. Rachel Brosnahan, of course, John Bernthal. Lawrence Fishburne did pretty damn good as well. Oh, actually, Rachel Brosnahan, she's the new Lois Lane. So hey, you know what I'm saying? Can't hate there. Casting, acting, I'm gonna have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like it's very fair. Now on to the cinematography. It's decent, not terrible, but it's solid. It's a couple good shots. Other than that one scene with Lawrence Fishburne that was chopped to shit, it's not terrible. So I can't give it a low score, but I can't give it too high of a score either. Cinematography is going to get a 6 out of 10. Now overall, The Amateur 2025, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I think that's quite damn solid. It's an action film. There's literally a million of them, so I feel like that's great. That's above average for an action film in my honest to God opinion. But yeah, that was The Amateur 2025. I rambled here and there a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I try not to be, but when I'm too passionate about movies to just be cut and dry when it comes to these reviews. But hey, that was it for me from here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Next week, we are going to be watching, well, it's going to be a double feature for me, but we are going to be watching Drop and Warfare by A24, so I'm excited for those two films. But again, that's going to be it for me from here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, you could toss me one of them likes. I truly do appreciate them. They don't go without notice. Without further ado, I'm going to bid y'all a good night, better morning, all that ish, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. God bless.